In a perfect world, what would the ad tech ecosystem look like? Well, I think it would look less like this than it currently does. In a perfect world, the ad ecosystem should not feel like the back of my entertainment center. Dozens of components, confusing connections, what plugs into what button do I push on the remote control. At home, I have to call one of my kids at college in order to sort of figure out how to actually run the entertainment center. The only options for the end user, with our current approach to things, seem to be hiring, either becoming their own systems integrator, making all these various things work together, try to make it work seamlessly, or to hire high-priced talent either internally or externally to make a go of it. I think the ad tech ecosystem should look more like this, right? It should look more like an organized network where acting on your choices would be simple and clear. Okay? Secondly, I think the ad tech ecosystem should look less like this. It shouldn't look like a big sandwich order sheet. We seem to have an ad tech ecosystem that's focused almost exclusively on components, menu items. I'll have a DMP and an analytics sandwich with extra heavy data aggregation, some verification on the side, creative optimization, hold the DSPs, hold the agency trading desks. I don't know, to me that seems very backwards. It doesn't seem like the kind of approach that we should focus on. Harken back to my friend Kirk McDonald from PubMatic, gave a great speech a couple of years ago in which he, on one side of the slide, he put up the algorithm for cake. And it was this beautiful formula which if followed completely, would add up to the recipe for cake. And on the right side of the slide, he put a wonderful picture of a little kid eating that piece of cake. So I'm shamelessly ripping off his idea here. And I think that instead of being so focused on the formula, the ingredients, our approach should be focused on the end user experience. So instead of this constant cycle of choice and assembly, what if we focused instead on how simple and enjoyable the end product, the experience of using this technology would be? Sometimes you just want to bite into the sandwich and have it taste really, really good. I think the ad tech ecosystem should look less like this. In a perfect world, we wouldn't periodically demand that we call up the latest third party to rid us of the latest plague, right? Content that's not brand safe, scam impressions, viewability, whatever is going to be next. Now, I'm not going to say that these are not critically important issues. They are. In my blog, The Drift, I just wrote about viewability. I think it's a very serious issue that we need to pay attention to. So it's not a question of like poo-pooing any of these particular issues. But you know what? I'd like it instead if we did something before all the varmints got in, right? If we focused on creating a system that was sanitary, a system that was clean, that was hygienic, where the varmints didn't have a chance to get in the first place. Now, I wish that we could be focused in our world on prevention instead of cure. It's kind of ironic that ad technology marketplace and automated teller machine have the same initials. And because I think in our current landscape, there always seems to be this lurking assumption. When I hear people selling new technologies, new systems, new components into the ecosystem, it always goes, there's always this sort of quiet assumption that, oh, we can always go to the ATM for a few more bucks. We can always just tax the publishers one more time. We can always tack a few more cents onto the CPM. Nobody will notice. Well, guess what? People are noticing. People are noticing a lot. And we just cannot carry the weight of paying for one more innovation. I would like it if the ecosystem were more of a financial meritocracy, where marketers and agencies would have to validate each new concept, service, or player by actually having to hand over cash or the equivalent thereof. If people had to really go out and make a value statement that said, we believe this service is going to be really, really good for your business, here's what it's worth, here's what it costs, how much would that validate what it is that we all do? What a different world it would be if we stopped telling the end user, you're really not going to feel the cost. And then finally, I would like it if in an ideal world, we wouldn't all remain engaged in this mind-numbing quest to shave one more quarter point off the effective CPM or conversion cost. We wouldn't be spending some of the best technology minds in the world on slaving away, trying to goose a dying click rate back into life. Instead, in an ideal world, I think we'd build things. We'd focus on building stuff. We'd be more constructive in our approach.